You've been hunting for a screen that won't just sit on your desk and gather dust, but actually lives up to the hype of a gaming-ready setup, something reliable, easy to live with day after day, and that feels like a solid bang for the buck. I get it. The market is flooded with glossy ads that parade insane refresh rates and crazy color numbers, but most of those claims don't translate into what you'll actually notice when you're grinding a raid, editing a video, or just binge-watching a series after work. The fear of dropping a few $100s on a monitor that looks great on paper but ends up being a headache is real, and that's why I dug into how the Alienware AW3423DW actually performs in the wild. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down why this 34-inch curved Quantum Dot-OLED could be the answer for some, and why it might be a miss for others. First off, the design. Dell's Alienware line has always leaned into a futuristic aesthetic, and this model lives up to that reputation. The chassis is matte black with subtle brushed metal accents that don't scream gaming rig the moment you walk into the room. The Curve 1800R is gentle enough that you don't feel squeezed, yet it does guide your eyes naturally across the ultra-wide field of view. In my own setup, I have the monitor sitting on a sturdy desk with a single ergonomic chair. The stand's tilt and height adjustments are smooth, and once you lock it in place there's virtually any wobble. That matters when you're in the middle of an intense FPS match and you don't want the whole screen to shift with a light nudge. Now, let's talk about the day-to-day experience. The headline specs shout 175 Hz, 0.1 milliseconds gray-to-gray, but what does that feel like? I ran a few of my go-to titles **Valorant**, Cyberpunk 2077, and Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the motion felt buttery. In fast-paced shooters, there's no perceivable blur when you spin around corners. In the open world of Cyberpunk, the extra frames give you a smoother sense of motion, especially when you crank the settings to max. The stutter-free speed claim isn't just marketing fluff, it translates into consistent frame delivery even when the GPU is pushing 200 frames per second. If you're the type who monitors frame times with tools like Fraps, you'll notice that the spikes are minimal, which is a comfort for both competitive and immersive play. Color is where the AW3423DW tries to set itself apart. The Quantum Dot-OLED panel delivers an infinite color palette, and in practice that shows up as deep blacks and vibrant mids. When I switched from a conventional LCD to this OLED, the difference in a dark horror game was night and day. The shadows held detail instead of melting into a gray fog. For creators, the 1.07 billion color support means you can trust the hue accuracy when you're grading footage or designing UI elements. I tested it with DaVinci Resolve on a recent project, and the gradients stayed true without banding, even on the darkest gradients. That's a real advantage if you spend hours tweaking color grades and need confidence that what you see now will match the final export. But the strengths come with trade-offs you should consider. OLED panels, by nature, are prone to burn-in if you leave static elements on screen for too long. The monitor does include a built-in pixel shift and logo dimming feature, which helps mitigate the risk, but it's still something to be aware of if you use it as a primary display for productivity tasks that keep toolbars or email clients static for hours. If you're the type who runs a stock ticker or has a permanent chat window open, you might need to be more diligent with screensavers or rotate the layout periodically. Another practical point is the price. This isn't a budget-friendly monitor, it lands in the upper mid-range bracket for most gamers. The value proposition hinges on whether you'll actually use the OLED strengths. If you're a competitive shooter player who thrives on the fastest response times and highest refresh rates, the 0.1 milliseconds gray-to-gray and 175 Hz will feel like a tangible edge. If you're a content creator or a cinephile who values deep blacks and color fidelity for editing and movie nights, the immerse in infinite color aspect justifies the spend. However, if your primary use case is office work, web browsing, or casual gaming at 60 Hz, you'll probably be paying for capabilities you'll never fully exploit. Who should buy it? Think of three archetypes. First, the hardcore gamer who already has a high-end GPU and wants a display that can actually keep up without bottlenecks. Second, the visual creator who needs accurate color reproduction and a large canvas to see details while editing. Third, the home entertainment enthusiast who wants a TV-like experience on a desk, immersive movies, HDR streaming, and